The following program deals with a controversial subject. The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation. The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information. Tonight on Sightings, has this team of investigators captured proof of UFOs on videotape?
I'm a pure skeptic, and seeing what I just saw, I can't be skeptical.
Do the latest cases of abduction reveal frightening alien motives?
Women begin to experience the gynecological examinations done by the aliens on them.
And could our own astronauts face deadly close encounters with alien forces?
Something is out there, and what it is, I don't know.
At that point, it started to appear.
They had large, dark eyes, claw-like hands.
I began sensing and knowing and feeling.
I do believe in life after death. I mean, I've been there.
We have not scratched the surface of what the mind can do.
It's a connection with the unknown.
Hello, I'm Tim White. Tonight on Sightings, people who claim to have had personal contact with aliens. They tell bizarre stories of abduction, and they suggest their captors have sinister motives. Most UFO encounters are easily debunked by experts, but there are still many sightings that cannot be explained, even by the most skeptical researchers. UFOs, they've been sighted in every corner of the Earth. Witnesses have captured strange lights and disc-shaped objects on film and video, but even before the age of technology, people worldwide were reporting UFOs.
The UFO subject goes back at least 6,000 to 8,000 years in human history. People have many times pointed to the Christian Bible and the old first 5 books of the Jewish Torah as being examples throughout history of UFO contacts. But what we're seeing today is considered by many to be examples of superior technology from somewhere else, probably another planet.
Some places have become legendary as UFO hotspots. Gulf Breeze, Florida, Roswell, New Mexico. Sightings in these out-of-the-way locations number in the thousands. The next hotspot? According to world-renowned UFO researcher Peter Gutilla, this town, Anza, California, has all the earmarks of an extraterrestrial mecca.
And we have animal mutilations, we have abductions, we have close encounters of all degrees. We've had the appearance of mysterious animals, and we've even had some of the so-called Men in Black experiences there.
At a local coffee shop, people were willing to share bizarre stories of their UFO encounters.
Kind of. I mean, that's the feeling I get like that.
They revealed that they believe that the Men in Black are actually extraterrestrials, sighted in deserted areas near the town. Each story is stranger than the last.
And I happened to look through the trees, and I saw this vehicle standing about, just about 60 feet off of the ground. It's like a flying saucer. It had a dome on the top and a platform around, and a couple of persons walked around walking on air. I was delighted to be able to see such a thing. And then all of a sudden, it was gone.
Anza is a UFO researcher's dream, a living laboratory filled with eyewitnesses.
They moved, first saw them over here, they moved across.
This thing was so bright, there was absolutely no shadows whatsoever on the ground.
It was like a gold trail, it left a gold trail.
Gutilla believes an around-the-clock surveillance here could net scientific proof of UFO activity. Activity reported today and possibly in the ancient past, when Indians here drew astronaut-like figures. Because of so much activity, the time was right. A team of UFO experts and skeptics move into the area. This will be one of the largest UFO stakeouts ever. They set up a command post on Thomas Mountain.
No one that I know of has gone out there to do what we did. We had the radar.
This radar can detect objects within a 24-mile radius.
This was pretty elaborate. The equipment was very expensive and very good and very accurate.
The Starlight camera is so sensitive, it can photograph objects in total darkness. Once online, it sees anything that gives off even the slightest light. It easily picks up stars that are not visible with a regular video camera.
This camera is unique because it has an intensifier, which is more than 1,000 times more sensitive than the video camera you have in your home.
Surveying the area, the researchers are looking for a UFO the locals have nicknamed Goldie, a golden glowing craft seen over and over in the night sky from this mountaintop.
Starlight, we're looking at Mount Cahuilla. This is where Goldie, or the UFO, which has been seen about 50 times in the past 3 or 4 years, usually appears. It appears in this area and has been seen actually all across Mount Cahuilla. This is Mount Cahuilla here.
The team gathers data and keeps meticulous notes. They continually monitor the sky. Then, unexpectedly, they're visited by witnesses. Debbie Steinberg didn't want to talk about her experience in town. She hiked to the stakeout area for a private meeting with researchers.
This was about 10:30 at night that it started. And I closed my eyes, and when I opened them again, I found myself in a room, and I was laying on a table, and I had 6 beings, and I couldn't tell you what they were doing because I really don't know. But I remember the one that was on the left of my head took something from my head.
Researchers at the stakeout say that Debbie's story fits the classic pattern of what is known as a UFO abduction experience.
I believe that the abduction phenomenon is real, that it is extraterrestrial, that people are basically describing events that are happening to them with an objective reality.
Dr. Jacobs has investigated UFO abductions in his bestseller, Secret Life.
Usually, the abduction phenomenon begins in childhood and goes all the way through old age. And so they've had a series of experiences throughout their life.
This is a rendition of the craft I saw when I was 4 and my brother was 3, and where I was zapped with light. This is a drawing of what I call the silhouettes. I'm very afraid of this rod this one carries.
The eye is long, long and thin, and very black.
There was some eye contact, but it was like you and I are making eye contact right now. It's not that we're looking at each other's eyes, but we're more like reading each other's minds. That's more like what it was.
I'm a hypnotherapist. I am now specializing in UFO abduction cases.
Yvonne Smith heads an abduction support group where people can share their experiences and discuss their feelings.
I was 6 years old, and I lived in Georgia, near Macon, Georgia. And I just remember it was in the middle of the night, and I woke up, and I was staring at the side of the head of the being. And I started to panic, and a couple of the beings in the craft subdued me somehow. And they had a very large instrument that came over my head, and they showed me a little BB-looking thing. And they told me they were going to put it up my nose. But then this instrument came over my head and punctured the soft palate of my mouth, and it hurt very bad. And the next thing I knew, I was being placed back in my bedroom.
I'm finding in my cases many chilling similarities. The person is taken against their will, taken into a craft of some kind, put on a table. The women begin to experience the gynecological examinations done by the aliens on them. They feel very violated. With the men, anal probes are inserted and sperm is taken. It's all done against their will, and they're really helpless to do anything about it.
Coming up, the abducted relive more terrifying experiences through hypnotic therapy.
During some abductions, I'm aware of their taking sperm samples.
And later, our UFO investigation in Anza, California continues.
Regression therapy is an extremely controversial method in which abductees relive their UFO encounters.